What's happening, VC? And also those of you out there who aren't in the VC. I know there's a few of you out here who aren't making videos or involved in the vinyl community. You just tune into my channel, and that's awesome. I appreciate it, and spark up some conversation if you've made the switch to Google Plus and you can even make comments. That's been a total bummer, but I'm here with the vinyl update, and playing in the background we have The Replacements' Let It Be. I've been looking for this record a very long time. It's finally here. I saw a copy in my local shop. This is beautiful. I mean, this looks like it's never been touched, never been played, and I'm playing it. I'm totally ruining it right now. But I saw it marked at 60 bucks. Thought that was a little high, but I know the owner. Brought him a few records I had set aside or had been setting aside to sell on eBay. Brought him a couple records, gave him 15 bucks. Got a long time want. And this vinyl update is all about guitars, albums with guitars on them. I compartmentalize, and especially when it comes to record collecting. So here's some guitar records, y'all. Pretty excited about a lot of these. I have, first up, great power pop band, Primitives. This is their album Lovely. The big hit Crash, just a perfect power pop song that takes you back to the old girl groups from the 50s with a little bit of fuzz, a little bit of jangle. This is a great, fun album. One of those situations where boy, girl, different songwriters take turns singing with interesting results. There's also a song on here, I think it's Carry Me Home, and it's got this psychedelic sort of vibe to it, but it's a little hokey, but not so hokey I'm going to turn it off. Primitives. This came out on RCA Records in some year that was in the 80s. Great stuff. Next up, New Order, Low Life. Finally found another New Order record. Power, Corruption, and Lies is something I acquired since joining the VC. Loved it. And I remember Adam saying that, you know, he always kind of flip-flopped between what was his favorite New Order album. And because vinyl collecting to me is also an exercise in musical discovery, this is really the first time I've heard this album. I like to buy the record, hear it for the first time, or at least hear all of it for the first time. I check out samples and YouTube and stuff. So I totally agree. This is just as strong as the predecessor, and I don't know, is it better? I think it's really fucking good. Low Life. This is great. It was a really good price because when I brought it up to the counter, the dealer thought that it was a Peter Gabriel record. And I guess it kind of looks like so, sort of. I don't really know, but this is 1985 on Quest Records. Great album. The guitars on here are just bright, punchy, great electronics bubbling in the background. I love this record. Recently went on a kick. Once every, I don't know, 6 months or so, for the last year and a half, I've gone on a Deep Purple kick. I just put on Deep Purple on Friday and I'm listening to Deep Purple until Sunday night. I have their record Burn, which I think is a masterpiece of early heavy metal prog rock. I think this is less in the prog rock vein with Burn. I know they kind of started out as a prog rock band, but Deep Purple, I picked up some more of their records. Of course, picked up the very well-known Machine Head, and I thought that I was going to skip Smoke on the Water when I first put this on. But I did not skip Smoke on the Water because it is a stellar track, you know? It's the first guitar riff most people learn to this day, for better or for worse. This is just a Warner Brothers press. I've noticed that these Warner Brothers pressings of the Deep Purple albums are hard to come by in I'm not sure if this is the main label that it was released on, but I've noticed that the American U.S. Warner Brothers releases, they're usually pretty beat, pretty worn down, pretty burnt. This one's in pretty good quality. I bought it in a bundle with this Deep Purple record, also a Warner Brothers green label this time, not that tropical scene or whatever. This is Deep Purple in rock, and this cover is amazing to me. It's like the worst photo retouching I've ever seen, and I love it for that. This is a great album, especially for Speed King, which is a dirty, dirty monster of a heavy metal track, and I love it. There's green label, Warner Brothers. Again, this one kind of sounds a little dull, this pressing. Doesn't particularly pop to me in the way that this next Deep Purple album does. Fireball, which close to Burn as far as my favorites go. This is excellent, and this is a EMI Harvest press, German press. This pressing sounds much better to me. The Green Harvest label there, got a great deal on it because there's some tears on the cover, which kind of stinks, but I'm in it for the music. I don't play the cover. Deep Purple fucking rocks, and I'm on board, you know. I really would like to get their self-titled. I've heard that album is good. If you have any other Deep Purple recommendations, let me know. I guess this is an era that I love. So from here, not sure where to go. Next up, great bands, The Jam in the City. I heard someone say recently that The Jam is like the band who took the Beatles' Taxman and turned it into an entire genre. Pretty accurate. This album rocks. This is a Polydor 1977 pressing, you know, that glossy cover. Great record. Fantastic. I love The Jam. And we can pop it out here for the great label. Woo! The Jam. There you go. Can't go wrong with this band. I think their follow-up was a little bit more rushed, slightly inferior to this, but I don't know. They're all still great. Next, Nazz. The second album by Nazz, but apparently the first and second albums were supposed to be part of a double album. This is Todd Rundgren's band from Philadelphia. This is on 1969 Atlantic Records. These dudes are decked out. They're ready to go. Great pop psych on this. Just fantastic. I really love this record. Great songs on here. Great pop. Todd Rundgren was strong right off the bat, I guess. So, I like that. Lastly, I have two records by the same artist. I figured I got their first album. I have one of their later albums. This is the DBs, Repercussion. Much like their first, excellent songwriting from Chris Stamey, excellent songwriting from the other guy who isn't Chris Stamey. Apologize for not knowing his name, but Chris Stamey is really the ringer in this band. And yeah, this is great. Like I said, a step up production-wise, but not a step down in songwriting. Quality from their first record stands for decibels. And I'm realizing, you know, their first two albums are imports. And I'm realizing why listening to these records. They have a very English sensibility, even though they're from the American South. And kind of is making me think, how do I market my music to people from the UK? If anyone knows, let me know. Great record. Strong songwriting all around. Glad I picked it up. Almost slept on it, but decided I'd regret it. And this is the follow-up record, Like This. Does not feature Chris Stamey. This came out in '84, by the way. This record came out in '82. But this is lacking Chris Stamey, and the songwriting, because of it, I do feel suffers a little bit. I guess Gene Holder is the secondary songwriter in this band, so it takes on more of a rootsy kind of thing. But to be honest, I've listened to side A of this, so I'm judging it a little bit unfairly. This is the only record in this stack I really haven't spent as much time with. This is Like This, the third DB's album, and I don't know, looking forward to spending some more time with it, but really Repercussions is what's doing it for me. Got great track playing in the background. Glad I could tune in for a little bit, VC. Y'all take it easy.